Welcome to another very special Draw Western Theater on location. As you can see, we're at the legendary Mescal Movie set. It's a closed set. No one's allowed inside. We're going to take you inside here on Draw Western Theater.
Yep, Western Theater.
Yeah, boy.
Yep, on it.
Background players, go into motion. Camera, up to speed. And action! Well, folks, I hope you're enjoying our special Draw Western Theater presentation of a visit to the Mescal Movie set. We've got a very special guest who's going to tell us a little bit about this legendary location. Introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Dan Sprankle. I go by Lieutenant Dan out here at the set.
Tell us a little bit about the Mescal Movie.
So the set itself, the structures we see, all began in 1969 with the filming of the movie Monty Walsh with Lee Martin. But Hollywood was out here as far back as 1950, using this plateau region for outside scenes such as Winchester 73, the Big Country. The set was built just for Monty Walsh, and then when they were going to, when they left and they wrapped the movie, they were going to actually let the set just deteriorate away Thankfully, Bob Shelton from Old Tucson purchased the set, and now he was able to give production companies two different backgrounds. Sonora Desert at Old Tucson, and then a high plains look up here at Mescal.
You know, and I was amazed because we did walk down and we looked at several different views up here. And when you're walking down the set this way, when they were telling us that Josie Wales was shot here, I
12 minutes up.
I couldn't see it until I turned and looked back in this direction. And then suddenly you saw that vista and you saw
Yes.
the town. When he rode in, you could see all of that. And then it all fell into place. You saw the saloon. You saw where he walks out of the Mercantile. So it is amazing the way it's laid out.
Yeah.
You know,
And it has that typical Old West movie set look where the street curves a little bit as you go down so that you can see all the buildings at the end of the street.
now it had been heavily used almost as a, like you say, a high plains sort of thing.
Yes.
And if there was something, you know, Tucson, of course, they moved here. And it had been heavily used right up through the 1970s. But after that, there was a bit of a lull in Westerns. And was it Tombstone that probably came along and...
Well, Tom Ward was filmed
Tom
here in
Ward.
79 and 80.
That's right.
Outlaw Josie Wales would have been 75, 76. And then Tom Horn came, which Mr. Jack was a part of. He did that 79 and 80. And then, yes, you are correct. Then there was a lull as far as the big productions out here. And then we had Tombstone in 93.
Now, Tombstone came back out. It pretty much revitalized the area because they had to recreate as much of Tombstone as they can. I was reading a book about it, and they were talking about, of course, they went and looked at the actual Tombstone, and they said right away they realized you can't shoot the actual Tombstone. And then they went and looked at Old Tucson, and they came here, and they realized that they did some work here and some work in Old Tombstone, and it's pretty much seamless the way they did it.
Well, they spent 2 months out here getting the town to look like an 1880s Tombstone would have looked, with fresh paint and a very brand new town.
Well, see, and I had never thought of that before. Every Western you see, they always strive to have these old-looking buildings.
Yeah.
At that time, they were new. It never occurred to me.
Exactly.
And everybody had the nice clothes that they'd gotten from Europe. So it did give the Western a whole new kind of look, or
Exactly.
a whole original kind of look, I should say.
You got that right.
But after that, that was pretty much, they had went away. Now, Mescal, of course, there wasn't, not a whole lot of Westerns being produced, unfortunately. So Mescal came close, I understand, to not being here anymore. Is that true?
Yeah, so December of 2020, when Diamond Ventures went out of business, the state was going to come in here and bulldoze this site down. And 2 months later, on Valentine's Day of 21, thankfully, that's when Jake and JJ bought it.
You know, it's amazing because we were talking at one time. We live in the middle of the country. And from the Kentucky area, at one time in 1970, there were 24 Western towns within driving distance of the middle of Kentucky.
Authentic Western towns?
Western towns that we built actually built for tourists. So there was 24 of those built in that time. In 1960, there were 80 Westerns on the air. So by the time you get to 1980, when Tombstone, everything came and went, 1990s, it's like everything was gone.
Yeah.
So it must have came dangerously close. My main point of that, folks, is you don't realize how close you are to losing something this special. But who was it that stepped in and rescued it?
Jake and JJ Carson.
And
They already were aware of the movie history out here, so when they heard that it was set to be demolished, they both jumped in, and that's when they purchased it.
then it came that close. Is there a website where they can go and maybe even keep up on the site
You
and
bet.
maybe even donate to keep the upkeep and things like
You
that?
bet, and we'd appreciate that. Our website is mescalmovieset.com, and even just verbal promotion is a big deal for us. We just enjoy and appreciate people promoting this stuff.
And that's one of the reasons we here at Draw Western Theater. You know how much we love the Western genre, folks. That's one of the reasons we're sitting here right now, and the people have been so wonderful to let us have the run of the set and talk about it, because we want to keep things like this alive. We want to keep the Western going. So you need to get on there, support this movie set, support this great location, and most of all, come and see it if you get a chance.
We'd appreciate that.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you, sir.
And we have had the most wonderful time.
Thank you very much. We're glad to have you.
Thanks you. One more time, give me that website.
www.mescalmovieset.com.
www.mescalmovieset.com. Of course, awesome.
a lot more to hanging a body than most people think. You'd step down, please. Oh, this is my son. I'm teaching him the trade. $1 more. There, that ought to do her. And I'm much obliged to you, sir.
See you tomorrow.
Bright and early. Oh, the hood. Can place the rope over it or under it. Do you have a preference?
Help yourself.
We don't have to go through the plaza if you'd rather not.
It doesn't matter.
You'll do up real nice, son. Real nice.
I had the stone set here when it arrived from Santa Fe. I hope you approve.
It's clean and straightforward, like George himself. He misses his father so.
Well, that surely is understandable. I share your loss, Carrie. I considered him my friend as well as his lawyer.
You've been such a help these past few months since George's accident.
I'm glad. I'm so glad. Would you like a moment alone?
Thank you.
Benjamin, let's go this way.
Why are some people buried out there?
That's Potter's Field out there. Benjamin, that's where we bury unfortunates and paupers. Do you know what paupers are, Benjamin?
No.
Well, paupers are people that don't have much money, and sometimes they don't have many friends.
Think it's for that killer they're hanging tomorrow?
Yes, that's where they're going to put him, right there.
I've never been to a hanging. Mother might let you take me.
We'll be on the stage for home. Besides, you know how I feel about executions. There's some good in every man, and killing him kills that too. Forgive me.
Now, what you say, Carrie, is quite true, certainly of James Devlin. I defended him at the trial, and I'm not certain justice was done.
You mean he might be innocent?
Innocent of this crime, yes. There was ample evidence of self-defense.
Well, then why wasn't he set free?
Well, his reputation, I suppose. As you know, Devlin was a notorious gunfighter. His reputation convicted him.
Tomorrow, bet Judge Stokes you're gonna crack like an egg. I'm talking to you, Devlin. You lived a rotten life, and all that got you was a rotten death. When you feel that rope around your neck, oh, you're gonna give us a dandy show, crying, begging for mercy, till they put that gunny sack on your head and drop you through that trap door to hell.
Why don't you shut up, UB?
Don't you disappoint me, Devlin. Got 50 cents right.
Go back to your drinking, UB. Sure, I know my business. She brings her supper. You go through this, too?
You think she might have hidden the Derringer in the tamale?
Happened once. With a few extra bullets in the salsa. Hey.
Judge gave me permission to visit with him. Alone.
You word from Jarman?
Jarman won't be coming.
What's going wrong? He promised me he'd break me out of here before last night.
He was killed down in Goshen.
Well, he sure picked a time. Well, at least I'll have somebody to share the fire with.
Devlin, you can't give up hope.
Jarman was my last one.
Oh, maybe I could do something else.
Oh, forget it. Forget it, Carita. Forget me.
Oh, no. No, never.
Oh, I know you. You'll mourn me till day after tomorrow and then swap my horse for a ticket to Abilene.
Not Abilene. New Orleans.
Sell my guns, too. For that new bonnet that I never got around to buying you. Well, Josiah, did you come to collect your fee?
Jim, I just received this from the governor. He refuses to grant you clemency.
Morituri te salutamos.
Isn't there something else you can do? He's no murderer.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
The lady's leaving, too. Tomorrow. Don't be there.
Slicker than bear grease.
I know how you feel, Devlin. There's only one way out.
I am Father Alvaro.
Soledad asked you to come, didn't she?
She worries for your soul.
Well, you're wasting your time. It's already spoken for.
I brought you this Bible. If I may suggest a passage from the Corinthian, which proves, in words more eloquent than mine, that a soul is not lost.
Don't sell me. I'm not buying.
You reject salvation?
No. Just hypocrisy.
Surely you must feel some remorse.
Well, I'll answer for my sins on my feet, not on my knees like some deathbed Christian.
But if you would only repent.
Sure. If I'd played my cards better, if I hadn't gone to the war, if I hadn't lost my family, if I hadn't been good with a gun tonight, I'd be an upright Kansas farmer worrying about tomorrow's weather.
Do not despair.
You were going to say my son. If you had Padre or no Padre, I'd have thrown you out.
I'm sorry. I will go.
No, you're not a bad priest, Father. You haven't failed me.
Perhaps an older, wiser man.
Oh, forget it. Forget it. My life's a bucket of spilled milk. What I need tonight's good company. Come on, sit down. I'll tell you a fortune.
Those are the tarot.
That's right. I got them from a woman in Chihuahua. She taught me to read them. I saved her from being stoned for witchcraft.
Your life is being eventful.
Yes, that's that. Now, there are 4 suits. Wands, cups, swords, and pentacles.
Superstition.
Well, what isn't? Still, they deal with the same things that you do. The world, the devil, judgment, death. But the meaning isn't necessarily what you'd think. Now, you take this one, for example. Le Pendu. The Hanged Man. This one turned up when my future was red. But the meaning isn't that I'll hang. No, sir. That card foretells a man changing his way of life by surrendering to a higher being. Now, how's that first night go, Al?
You mock me.
No. Myself. Come on. Let's cut the cards. We'll see what your future holds. Maybe even that call to Rome and those cardinal's robes you dream of wearing someday.
How did you know that?
Lucky guess.
No. Not 3 times tonight.
Who knows? Cut 'em.
Now, when he did the Little House on the Prairie episode over here, this building for sure was used in that particular episode. That building was also known as Arizona Brewery for the Tombstone movie. We have had it set as a tonsorial or barber shop, dentist's office, doctor's office, bathhouse, and right now it is set and very active as our gift shop. So if you'll come this way for... In the movie, it had a little ship's figurehead pointing from that sign out towards the street. It's one of those things that once you see it, you can't not see. For to quicken the dead, it continued as a cigar shop. I don't know who smoked all those cigars, but we got a bunch of empty cigar bars. Now, the next building we have found, we've only owned the set since February of 2021. But we have found that production companies, set owners, are not always really good about keeping track of what happened to the set during a production. They don't necessarily hear that a building went up or went down. And you go, oh, well, it started showing up in 1988. That doesn't mean it was filmed in 1988. We had a movie filmed out here in 2014 called Hot Bath and a Stiff Drink. It has not released yet. If it ever does release, the set you see at that point is going to be a whole lot different than the set you're looking at today. Well, this building, we know exactly when she went up. They had to do some maintenance this past fall. They had to tear out part of the side wall, and they found a board. And that board says very lightly and very hard to read, "This building built by Malpaz Productions, November 10th, 1975, and signed by Clint Eastwood." That would have been entitled for the outlaw Joseph Wales. Would you like to see the inside? On.
Sometimes I get hired to stand out in front of a cigar shop.
We work with them, we're not always sure either.
I'm sure Dawn has told you this building was built by Clint Eastwood, but he might have built it, but I own it. I'm Mr. Vanderspiegel, so don't get out of hand in here. Grandma's pickles are on sale, and if there's anything here that we don't have and we need to get for you, we'd probably do it in 2 to 3 months.
Folks, we have another special guest that's come by the table to talk to us here at Draw Western Theater on location at the Mescal Movie set. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hello there. My name is Paul Retzloff. I'm here at Mescal Movie set, and I am the program coordinator here.
Well, tell us what you do. That sounds very, very interesting.
Well, what I do here at Mescal, other than pick up nails and sweep buildings and keep track of the Vanderspiegel Mercantile.
I was going to say, I saw you running a market over here, too.
In addition to that, I also do the coordinating and the organization of a lot of our on-site activities, such as vendor fairs and Western type of sales and group meetings of people that want to come out and have celebrations here at the set.
I notice you're always trying to do new and special things at the Mescal Movie set to keep it going, to keep it vibrant, keep it moving. We were really impressed when we came up with all these iconic locations and how good the sets look right now. I know that they came dangerously close to not being here.
Very, very close.
But so tell us what you got planned for Mescal.
Well, this coming month, on April 21st and 2nd, we have a Cowboy Western tack and swap meet coming for people that are coming, and they rented a booth at our facility to sell their artwork and their tack, their period correct clothing, and anything else that matches well with our theme here at the Mescal Movie Set.
And that's going to be in April.
April 21st and 2nd.
Can they see that on your website and get the details?
They will be able to see the date set on our website, and if they want to come and participate during either one of those days, they can drive up and buy a ticket and come on in and shop. If they want to be a vendor, all they need to do is get a hold of me, and I'll send them the paperwork to fill out to make sure they get a spot here.
I think that is such a wonderful idea. What other things are you trying to do to keep the set going? And I know they've shot a couple movies here this year, right?
We have shot quite a few movies here. A couple of them are in post-production, so I can actually mention them. One is Farhaven, and that's through the INSP network. And the other one that just finished is a movie called Birthright, and that's a shoot-off of the INSP network. So those are the two that we can actually physically talk about because they are in post-production. We've also shot quite a few shorts out here this year, a couple of commercials, a few rap videos, and one of the commercials that you probably have seen already if you watched the Super Bowl was one of the ESPN commercials, and they actually had a horse kick a football out here.
Oh, this is where they shot that.
That's where they shot that.
Well, and they've had a Draw Western Theater shot here too, so I know that. Another one's going to go on their resume and their list. But what have you got? What else you got coming up that you know of in production?
Well,
that you could talk about.
That I can talk about. We have a few more music videos. We have a series that's looking at us here to come out and film a weekly series that's still in talks with them. And there's a couple other movie productions that are looking at us to come out. So if anybody sees us and wants to film a movie out here, you best get a hold of Mark Sankey pretty quick and get your time slot filled in.
I'm telling you, folks, it's a magic location. It's just got history everywhere you walk, and it's so versatile. There's so many different ways to look, so many different angles, and so many different sets. And give us the website one more time where they know to go look.
www.mescalmovieset.com.
Mescalmovieset.com. Tell you how much I appreciate your time to sit down and talk with us.
Well, we certainly thank you for coming out and spending some time here and seeing our wonderful location. We have a lot of volunteers that take a great passion in working out here. In fact, last year, just one last thing to tell you.
Oh, take your time.
We had 16,000 hours of volunteer work out here last year.
Oh, wow.
And every dime that's spent at this set is put right back into the set to rebuild it.
Oh, that's just amazing. So if you have some time you want to work on a movie set, who would they contact?
They could go to our website. There's an area there to fill out a volunteer form, and once you do that, we'll take a look at it and get a hold of you.
I'll tell you, folks, if we were anywhere near this location where we could do it, we would definitely volunteer. Because like I said, this place has got history in every step. And you want to come up and you want to make sure that the Western heritage stays alive. And it's going to stay alive by keeping wonderful movie sets like the Mescal Movie Set in existence. I want to really thank you for sitting down and talking with us.
Well, I thank you very much, too. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And folks, come and visit them, and make sure you go to the website. That's
www.mescalmovieset.com.
God willing, he won't suffer.
He won't feel much. I gave him enough laudanum to subdue half the tigers in Bengal.
But was that,
Proper? No. Merciful.
I hate to think of you stuck way out there in the middle of nowhere. Why don't you reconsider my advice and sell the mine?
Not to Lou Halleck. Or anyone.
Well, if that scoundrel gives you any more trouble, we'll get a marshal after him. Come on, Benjamin. Oh, boy, you're a heavy one. You come back, Benjamin, we'll teach you how to ride a horse.
Okay.
Thank you for everything.
Goodbye, dear. Take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Can't we go watch too?
No.
But, Mom.
Benjamin, it's not a circus.
Ready, Judge.
Mr. Devlin, it's customary to say a few words of remorse or maybe an admonition to the young folk of the town. In your own words, if you'd be so kind.
Manzanas, naranjas, dulces, muy sabrositas. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Naranjas, manzanas, manzanas, señor. Manzanas. Mil gracias, señor.
James Devlin, you have been found guilty by a jury of your peers, and you have been sentenced to hang by the neck until you are dead. Carry out the sentence.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the land. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after justice, for they shall have their fill. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the clean in heart, for they shall see God.
Hey, Devlin, welcome to the dance. They're going to show us the strangulation jig.
Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall all indeed rise again in a moment, in the twinkle of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise again, incorruptible. And we shall be changed, for this corruption must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Ayúdame. Levántale la cabeza.
Perdóname.
Recemos. Cielos, santificado sea tu nombre. Vénganos en tu reino. Hágase el Señor su voluntad, así en la tierra como en el cielo. El pan nuestro de cada día, dásnoslo hoy. Perdónanos nuestras deudas, así. No bebes.
Dios mío, está vivo.
No, algunas veces cuando uno muere, el cadáver se muere.
Pero míralo, míralo.
Está frío. No es posible. Cobijas, pronto, pronto.
If you don't bite down, I'm gonna give you something to think about.
Oh, come on now. How about some water? Give me some water. That damn rat good whiskey's burning my throat. Come on. How about a little water? Look, I'm empty. Give me some water there. Come on, Sheriff. Come on, you big haybilly.
Come on in. And they can move it anywhere they need to. So this wall could just as easily be going this direction. Now in our jail cell. Oh, close that door. What do you... He's trying it. I may need to fix that lock.
Oh, they cured over on that.
Two not people. Now that jail cell. The bars on this side, the smaller side, those are made out of PVC pipe. Those people they know what they're doing, so they pay and they look like iron bars. However, that door, as you've already heard, it is made out of metal bars. He can run his tin cup over there. When he opens and closes it, it clanks just like an iron door should. We also have rock walls in here. Those rock walls are fiberglass. They can be purchased by a sheet. They can be put on by grooves, stays, or nails. So if anybody would like to touch either the rock or go in and have your picture taken, it's your responsibility to keep them in there if you do that.
Send in these ladies first. See?
Ranger, Texas Ranger. And we brought in a couple new characters recently, and
okay,
it's what we thought was like Georgie said, Svengoolie has it. You know Svengoolie?
Sure.
He has that one segment where he talks about, oh, this actor was in this, and I said, wouldn't it be interesting if somebody did that with a Western, except do every sequence about the movie, about the world.
Right.
And that's what we did. Cool. So we're gonna do cool. We'll find a movie that was shot up here, and then we'll put the movie on, and each one of these segments will go in between all the segments of the movie.
Okay.
Well, cool. So I think we'll get you some good publicity.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm just all about the history of the Western and keeping it alive.
Me too.
You too.
Since I was smaller than you.
Oh, me too.
I wanted to be a cowboy, and I got a chance to do it in the movie.
That was the same here.
And then, when the movies got scarce, I went to work on a ranch. I got to
be a real cowboy.
I was that for 5 years. And then, I retired after that and I was doing nothing, and I went online and I saw that the Karchmers had purchased this place, and I went, hell, I was in 4 movies out there. So I came out to volunteer, and they go, well, you worked in movies out here? And I, yeah, these. And they go, well, you're one of our legends. And I went, well, I've been a legend in my own mind. Yeah, but Heston's daughter was kidnapped by James Coburn and the bad guy. Well, as soon as our deputies hit the Indian reservation, we can't pursue them on the Indian we're going back. Well, Heston and Christopher Mitchum go to get his daughter. Well, in the scene, they're going, he goes, paper case, they're your daughter, and they're raping. Well, that gave it an R rate. I didn't know this. I'm in Fairbanks, Alaska in 1976, and we're driving down the street with my buddy, and I see on the marquee, and I go, hey, I'm in that movie. He goes, you are? I went, yeah. He says, we have to go see it. And I went, yeah, I've never seen it. So we go, he calls his whole family. So there comes all the kids. And we're watching the movie, and they're all going, oh, look, there you are. And then I go, yep, that's the end of me. Now I don't know what's going to happen because I've never seen it. And all of a sudden, that comes up. The whole aisle goes.
Yeah, you're in a movie like that.
And I go, I didn't know.
I didn't edit it.
I didn't know, and I didn't. They go, well, okay. But I went, I never saw the movie.
Well, you know, I guess that had to be the most famous story about that. You remember a movie called Caligula? It was a terrible, terrible attempt to try to bring porn into the mainstream. But they got Sir John Gielgud to be in this movie because he heard it's called Caligula, so it's about the Roman emperor, and he thought this is going to be a Shakespearean tragedy. They shot all these Shakespearean actors, then they went in and they inserted all of the dirty subtitles. And he didn't find out till it premiered. So at least you only had the F-bomb to deal with.
Yeah, that was my one and only big time. Everybody just.
You did it. You were the one that did it.
I didn't know. You saw us. We rode off, and the movie continued.
Blame it on Chris Mitchum. He's the one.
Heston's fault.
How was it like to work for Charlie Mason? He was one of my favorites. He really was.
You know, I thought, this guy, Moses, you're going way above me. Nope. Look, just like we're standing here talking. Same with James Coburn, Christopher Mitchum. My 2 favorite actors, I gotta tell you, is Slim Pickett and Jackie.
Oh, everybody loves Slim Pickett. I hadn't heard a whole lot of people talk about Jack Elam, but everybody who worked with Slim Pickett just really seemed to like him.
He was a great guy. If you want to hear a quick story, we were doing the movie Haunts. That's got Slim Pickens and Jack Elam. I'm one of Jack Elam's bad guys.
That's James Hampton in that.
James Hampton. So, after we wrap on the weekend, Slim goes, hey, where's a good bar? And I went, there's a great country and western bar called the Buckskin. They got good steaks, live music. He goes, we should go. I went, well, I'm going. I'll meet you there. So, precursor to this, there's an old cowboy that lives right behind the Buckskin. He keeps his horse there. He's an old rodeo cowboy. He tells me, I said, hey, Johnny, I'm working Slim Pickens and Jack Elam. He goes, you know, I rodeoed with Slim back in the 30s and the 40s. I went, really? He says, yeah, I haven't seen him in 50, 60 years. So, I remembered that when Slim says, where do we go? So he comes, he shows up. I walk over and I go, hey, Slim, glad you could make it. And I says, there's an old guy sitting over here by the bar. Says he knows you. He goes, well, let's go see him. I walked over there. I tapped Johnny on the shoulder. I says, hey, do you know this guy? They turned around. It was like ever this beat Oh, wow. And all I could do was go, hell yeah. I didn't need an autograph or nothing. It was like I brought two old buds together. It was like,
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
You never know how that's going to, something like that's going to turn out, but turn out like that's great.
you know, that was perfect. It was perfect.
Well, we better let you get back. We're going to walk around and talk some more. Please, I wanted to talk to you some more, so I'm going to send you some information. You got my card? I gave you my card? Or
No,
I got your card.
You got my
card. I got your. That's a really cool card. I'll email you. Please email me back. If nothing else, I think you might be interested in doing maybe like a Zoom interview or something.
Sure.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
No, sure, I'll do that.
It'd be interesting with cowboy hats on Zoom. Who else is doing that?
Right? Well, I've been on TikTok. My daughter calls me one day, goes, Dad, you're on TikTok.
He's a big TikTok man.
The guy is out here doing the thing. He goes, hey, did you say in this house right over here is Bert Gillert's house in the movie Tombstone? All of a sudden, I'm on TikTok.
You made the TikTok gems. Let's. Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks. I won't keep you anymore, but I hope to talk to you soon again.
Sure.
Thank
I'm a report.
I love you, friend.
I'm glad you guys came.
Look, Mother, smoke.
Welcome home, good lady.
That's Bessie Ross.
Benjamin, go in the house. Go on and close the door. Go on now. Nameless.
No, don't touch me. The dirty devils, they jumped me.
Here, let me help
don't
you.
touch me. They befouled. They soiled me.
That doesn't matter.
No, Millie. Touch to me. No, Millie. Don't.
Animals.
Doctor, do you have any explanation?
Explanation? Well, his neck's not broken. He's unable to talk or won't. His heart's steady. Pulse slow. Body temperature's abnormally cold. Outside of that,
Do you think he'll live, Doctor?
if he should, will the state execute him again?
I don't know.
Imagine the same uncertainty spraying on his mind, too, if indeed his brain's functioning.
Confound it, man. How could this happen? You signed his death certificate.
He was dead.
Or you were drunk.
Or the hangman misplaced his knot, or they cut him down too soon. Who knows?
Perhaps the answer lies beyond our understanding.
A miracle?
God, in a moment of mercy.
God, in a moment of mercy, reached out and a sinner fell in his palm? Really, Father? Really?
Why not?
Finish it up. Nah, I mustn't try to talk yet.
I can't.
Now, the girl's distraught. I suppose others will be too. You're gonna have to be prepared for that.
What did Lazarus do with the rest of his life? The Bible does not say. You must find your own answer.
You keep this incredible thing secret for 2 whole days. Then you want to tell me about it. Why?
What's Devlin's idea? He insists on knowing what's next. I explained to him that, to the best of my knowledge, this case is legally, completely without precedent.
But if this is any kind of a prank, I'd hate to be in your booth. You certainly didn't exaggerate. An execution was carried out before some 300 witnesses. Joe, this man is legally dead.
Legally dead? That doesn't mean you're safe.
You've got enemies. Bound to be some who want to test your mortality here in Trace Cruises or any place else you go.
Now, as your friend, I think we should go ahead and bury James Devlin.
We'll spirit you away,
Another name, another place.
and you will be reborn.
No.
is where Doc Holliday in Tombstone, 1993,
On the roof.
died of tuberculosis.
But I walked through and it's just phenomenal. I just tell the offices, you go by and say, yes, you're in South Santa Ana and Nipley and these are all the backdrops in the bookcase.
Right about here was his bed, and Wyatt came around here to visit him and play his last part of the deck. This is also where he looked down at his feet because of the legend that says, at least you die with your boots on. And he looks at his feet and says, well, this is funny because he doesn't have any shoes or socks on. Especially he doesn't have any boots on. So he was like, well, I'll be damned. This is funny. Well, I'll be damned, this is funny. So this is where that iconic scene comes. And legend has it that the real Doc Holliday actually said that.
Right here. This is where he walked up to do about 30 and said, you're sitting in my chair. And this is Billy Bob said, wow. Okay, this is where Doc was standing when he was spinning that cup. Right here. Wow. Yeah, get your photo right here. So they have him stood right here and did the gun spinning scene. Michael Biehn actually did all his own gun spinning. Oh yeah, he actually designed that whole routine. You can tell him, you can see his face all the time spinning. But he hired a professional gun spinner and he practiced for like 5 months. Yeah, it's gonna stay with the building if we sell the building.
Well, that's funny.
That was just the neatest thing to see.
A black cat right when I walked out.
She walked right in from nowhere. She's a set cat. That's cat. You haven't heard about the cat? No. That's Sammy. That cat has lived here 11 years. Really? Started out as one of a litter that all of us survived. And she's lived here 11 years, survived coyotes and bobcats and owls and everything else. Rattlesnakes. And she's been bit by a rattlesnake. It's on her run there. You can see that scar in her around her. Yeah. That was the dry spot in your own block. Look at where we're at. 11 years she's lived here. One of my favorite movies. Remember when Steve McQueen escaped and dragged that young man? Yep. That was you. Folks, we want you to talk to one of the people who actually appeared in some of the movies that were shot on this wonderful location. So we thought we might introduce you to one of the most authentic cowboys that you're going to meet on the streets of Mescal. Sir, introduce yourself.
My name is Jack Wester. I was 17 years old when I first came onto this set, and the movie Tom Boy was
Now, Jack, you got to play with Steve McQueen on Tom Horn. Now, what was it like working with Steve McQueen?
super, okay? Between him and Slim Pickens, the most laid-back people I present.
You know, it's amazing. We were just talking about Slim Pickens just a couple of minutes ago, and yesterday somebody actually brought him up to me. We always heard the same thing about Slim Pickens, that he was the nicest, most real guy.
Oh, 100% down there.
And you're 17 years old on a set with Slim Pickens, and did they ever try to get you in any trouble? Did they? Somehow I knew that was coming. One of the scenes that we were talking about, your most memorable scene with him would be with Steve McQueen.
When he broke out of the jail and came down and was looking for a weapon or whatever in there, and I had come over from there was a corral across the street from the sheriff's office, and I was standing there and came walking in, and he took me hostage.
That was when he made the run at the street, right? Was that the break for it?
That was after.
After break.
Yeah. He asked me where all the guns were, and I said, well, sheriff says we can't keep them in here. And then he goes, I have a pistol in the back, and they're going to smile, we're going to walk out.
I remember the scene of all that.
We walked out, and he knocked me out, took off running through the bed.
That's what I was talking about when they actually chased him down the horses and run up to the horses.
Right back.
That was right back here. That was one of my favorite movies. I was a big Steve McQueen fan, but that movie also was almost kind of an analogy of the end of the West. It really was. It was like a man whose time had left, yet he was still there. And I thought it was just beautifully done. So that just must have been amazing. Tell me some more remembrances.
And then right before he goes in to get hung, I'm the one that he walks in the bed who said, "I hear you getting nerves." Said, "Yes, sir, I did."
And if you look at the film, you see the round bowls here. This is the same bowling, same walls. Here's a clock laid right here at the window on his death scene. Wyatt came in. The camera angle makes this look a lot bigger. Oh, sure. But he came in. They played their last hand of cards. He asked Wyatt to leave. He sees his feet sticking out. Isn't that funny? Oh, I know. I love that line. And they say that's actually authentic. That is his last line. And last word. This is where that was shot. Now, what's interesting, the producer told me that Val was laying in ice water. Yes, ice cubes. Yeah, he wanted to look uncomfortable, and he was. They said he just shivered and brilliant the whole time. It was just such phenomenal. It's amazing to see this though, because I mean that window, I can see it in my mind right here. Now, where you're standing is where Steve McQueen got hung in Tom Horn. Oh, you've got to be kidding. The gallows were right here. This is where they go. Gallows and Tom Horn. The jail was there. We lost the second floor. They actually built a walkway from the building there to that window. And the gallows went installed as that floor. They walked Steve McQueen out. It was a water-activated gallows. Had the dripping. Once he stepped on the door, then it activated it, and the water started dripping. So much water poured out, then boom. So Steve McQueen, as Tom Horn, was hung right in his rock those charms out of his hand. Now, that was a heartbreaking moment in the movie to me, because I grew up, Steve McQueen was the king of the pool. And then now this was also in another movie, Stagecoach. Oh, the remake. Yeah, remake. Not the one with John Wayne. I always say that to wait for people to react to say, well, no, that's not the 1989 version, but the Highwayman.
Oh, relax. And then I said more. There was another clip in there. I talked a lot more, but it was all cut out.
Oh, that happens quite often, of course. So you've been, after Mescal Movie set now, that was back in 1980 when that film was shot?
I came out here my Christmas vacation from high school in 1970.
So where did you come from? Where was home?
Native to Silver.
So you came out here, you tried to get a job. Were you trying in the movies or?
No, a friend of mine that I ran around with, his mom was actually married to Lloyd Bridges. And Jackie Hamza, she was still a stunt woman and a double for Ann Margaret.
Oh, Ann Margaret, that was my favorite back in the day.
She asked, there was a bunch of us, like 4 of us that run around together, and we all came out here just to make a little extra money on Christmas break.
You ended up working with Steve McQueen.
Yeah, the gentleman that was coming into California that was supposed to do the part never made it for whatever reason. So Steve McQueen had us all dressed alike and lined us out. There was 11 of us out on the street, all dressed alike. Yeah, one other time he interviewed us and they just walk around.
I made
the cut and I got picked.
Oh, that's awesome. And here you are still, all these years later, on this iconic set. By the way, I love your derby. Where did you get that at?
I got this at Arizona Hatters in Tucson.
Is that a vintage or did you make it that way?
This is a Bailey.
Oh, it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful hat.
And it's, believe it or not, this hat's only maybe 6 years old.
That's what I meant. Did you make it look that way? Because it looked very ornate. It looks very authentic. And that's one thing about
bosses that didn't like it.
Really? Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing about the crew up here and the actors up here, just the period dress and the authenticity, and also just the friendly atmosphere that this place gives. It really, you guys really, really bring the town to life.
Your best.
And is there anywhere people can go to your website you have or anything? Or can they actually visit you on the Mescal website?
I haven't even updated that.
You've got to update that so we can get a hold of you, Jack. Everybody's doing this internet thing now.
My son keeps telling me I got to get up at the times.
That's we now have a TikTok and he almost calls me. I can pronounce it right. We now have one of those because he put it on there for us. I'm not very computer savvy.
I'm not out of bed.
And you still haven't played it.
We'll talk about that off the air.
bring up hay on the air. That's it.
And everything you see on social media, I did.
We're not denying that. Our kids are better. Well, I hope to see you again real soon. I hope you enjoyed being on Draw Western Theater, and we certainly have enjoyed being on Mescal Movie. Thank you. It's a pleasure, Pete. Dude, I'd love to have helped in your shoes when you were shooting that. That must have been amazing to be on that set. And after the whole shoot was done, they rented out Skate Country North in Tucson for all the cast, all the crew, all the members, the stunt people, everything. Oh, I love that they did Skate Country. That's amazing. That's awesome. All the stuntmen had radio control cars and that. Trying to skate around, cars going in and out. No, they were saying, yeah, that's all of the wall centers.
Behold, I tell you a mystery. We shall all indeed rise again, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise again, incorruptible, and we shall all be changed. For this corruption must put on incorruption, this mortal must put on immortality.
Why? 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 God!
Long, short, and Benjamin. Long, long.
Where's water?
Who are you?
Nobody.
You one of Halleck's men.
Now, son, don't be afraid.
Damn snake bit me.
You're gonna be all right.
But it's poison. It's poison. I'm gonna die.
Oh, you're not. Look at
I'm
this.
gonna die.
Hold this.
Die.
And squeeze. Tight.
Die.
Just concentrate. It won't hurt at all. Squeeze. Atta boy. Doing just fine. Now, if you trust me and squeeze, you won't feel a thing. Tighter. Tighter. You've got nothing to worry about.
Put him on my bed.
Mama.
You got whiskey? To clean a wound.
Won't carbolic do as well?
That's better. Just wash it and bind it tightly. If you've got paregoric, it'll settle him down.
Don't go.
Benjamin, what am I going to do about you? There's always something.
That man scared me.
I'm sure he didn't mean to.
Oh, get in there. Get in with you there. Come on, you know. Get in. Get in.
All right, thank you, sir. Is the boy all right?
He should be. You got water?
Well, I reckon so, but be sparing with it. Every drop is precious as pearls.
Mine play out?
It is no concern of yours.
No, I guess not.
14 men here on this payroll, and when the trouble started, every man jack up and runs like rabbits, leaving the poor little lady all alone.
Oh.
You don't know them devils like I do.
I know they'd win.
I've come here to have a talk with you.
Wasting your time, Mr. Halleck. My answer is still no. The Chupadera is not for sale.
That's not why I've come.
Then why?
Why? To express my regrets about that unfortunate misunderstanding the other day. I was shocked when I learned about it.
That was no misunderstanding.
Oh? You mean the old man deliberately provoked my employees by taking a shot at them?
Your employees were trespassing.
I admonished them for that.
And for killing 3 goats and burning my wagon and abusing this man.
They went too far. And I feel a moral obligation to at least pay damages.
Well, I don't want your money. I want to be left alone.
You're abandoned. Almost.
He's just passing through. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Miss Gall, I know this property can be a great burden, especially to a widow with a young child to consider, so I'm going to keep my offer open to buy it for 7 days. Good day to you, ma'am.
Oh, my dear lady. Don't you think it's best for you and for your boy's sake that you take up his offer?
Nameless. After all we've been through? No, I can't let it end Halleck's way.
Sure, but I've tried my best.
I know. I want to thank you for what you did for Benjamin. You're welcome to take supper with us and put up for the night.
Billy, do something. Short of murder.
Hey, Chief, that drifter. I seen him the last time you sent me in the Tres Cruces. He's the one.
The devil?
The hanged man.
You don't talk much, do you?
That's right.
You can bed yourself down here. Say, did you ever know Luke Parmentier? It was a bad one for you. And I have known a lot of devils in my day. Injun Joe Murray, Bowleg Pete. Come to think of it, the worst of them was the nicest with the children. And also, the bad ones were the most gentlemanlike with the ladies. Maybe it's the roughs that you don't have to worry about. Maybe. What's that? What's wrong? I've got dog's ears. I don't hear.
thought you'd have gone by now. Sometimes I feel there's no lonelier place on earth. I've even found myself conjuring up visitors. Marco Polo, Omar Khayyam.
Omar is practical. Those tents need repairing.
He won't tell anyone his name. I haven't heard yours.
Does it matter?
He's never going to be able to fix that thing by himself. I don't suppose you'd...
What?
Be interested in a job.
No.
Well, I couldn't pay much anyway. Besides, why should you borrow someone else's trouble?
It's no fight you could hope to win.
Not alone, no. But my brother's coming soon. He's a mining engineer. He knows how to deal with men like Lou Halleck.
I've worked for men like Halleck. Cattlemen, railroad nabobs. They never stop till they win, and what's in front of them gets ground under.
Yes, well, come in and I'll fix you some food for the trail. Maybe you'll ride a ways with me? I gotta go into town.
Think that's wise?
We can't do without water. Nearest water's in Goshen.
We learned the hard way. None of us had really been involved in the backside of movies before. So you gotta learn these things. Well, we learned to dress it light, just like you're trying to sell your house. You know, you want people to come in, get a good look at what it can be, but enough emptiness that they can picture in their own mind's eye. So when a location scout comes in, he can look at this and go, yeah, I can see the mercantile, but looking at the dimensions, front to back, what is going on back here, what can be moved to taken out, maybe they need something else. They don't need a mercantile, they need it as a bank. As a matter of fact, in 1986, they did a remake of John Wayne's Stagecoach movie out here. It starred the Four Highwaymen. So that would have been Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, and Johnny Cash. This was the bank for their town. Oh. It is amazing what a change of paint, a change of sign, a change of window dressings will do to a building.
Why?
Oh, look, it's a souvenir.
Have an auction right here.
Why do you refer to buildings as her or she? Is it like a ship?
In the world I grew up in, yes, buildings are female.
Yeah. Okay.
Buildings, cars, guns, they're all female.
Especially guns.
Especially guns.
Inspiring minds.
So this is where they filmed the OK Corral sequences for the movie. Would have been 9 young men, either 2 or 3 horses in here. Tombstone will tell you that there were about 30 shots fired in 30 seconds, and my understanding is when they were filming, they tried very hard to stick to that 30 seconds. By the time of the final cut of the movie, it went over a minute, a little bit more there, because they did some dramatic pauses and some up close. The 30 shots, that also went out the window with the movie. There's a story of a 2-shot shotgun that fired 3 shots. When Val Kilmer, as Doc, put down that shotgun, he pulled his pistol, he started fanning the hammer. Heaven only knows how many shots he got off. One thing we have heard is that for the entire course of shooting that sequence, they used something like 1,100 shots. Now, all of that noise, smoke, and commotion is going on in here. Out here on the street, that would have been Fremont Street. There was a raw wood building across the street. I believe it was the Tombstone Epitaph. There were some other raw wood buildings out there. Chinatown would have been a little further down the street. The Chinese came up to see what all that noise, smoke, and commotion was about. Young man at the time by the name of Stephen Lang played the part of Ike Clanton. They were out here filming June, July, and August of 1993 for a Christmas Day release. So this is their 30th anniversary this year. Now, I have never met Mr. Lang. I really hope to sometime, but I'm betting he was the only one really happy on the set because he kept dunking his head in that rain barrel And I just have visions of him going, one more take. I think we need one more take. All we need. But when he takes his head out of the rain barrel, he crawls over to Wyatt, begs to be let out of the corral. He did not have a pistol with him. Wyatt tells him to get out. When he does, he goes into that building. That building would have been C.S. Fly's photography gallery. When he goes in there, Josephine was in there having her picture taken, and Sheriff Johnny Bean was in there as well. Ike went in, took Johnny Bean's gun away from him, and started firing through the windows that are behind that blue tarp. There had been windows and bars on there up until that wind that took the building down a couple weeks ago. So then they put the plastic over it. So all of that's happening in here. Now the movie did something I thought was incredibly intelligent. They hired cowboy reenactors as their extras. When these guys came, they came very often with their own wardrobe. You don't have to pay for wardrobe. They came with their own firearms, either authentic, vintage, or such good replicas you wouldn't know from the film. And if they brought their horses, they brought their own tack. So when they came, all of these adobe walls were up. They lined the corral area here. And when you watch the movie, you see tack lined up on those walls. It is a lot of it vintage from those reenactors. Very cool.
It ain't poison. Pure. That's your life. That's not your ordinary gargling spit. That's swallowing water. Yes, sir. Purity is quality.
For a price.
Everything's booming.
That a stamp mill down there?
Stamp mill, smelter too. Going 24 hours a day, including Sunday, thanks to Lou Hallett.
Are you top man?
Puts bread on a lot of tables.
Hey, gravy on some.
Devlin?
Yeah.
Billy Irons. You might have heard the name.
You're young.
Old enough to have rode with King Fisher down there at Tascosa. You've been a lot of places too, huh? All this stuff here for the widow lady?
Widow? Meaning the gaunt woman? He didn't tell me that, Mr. Irons.
Yeah.
Alec wants to see you. He's curious. You blame him? Right down there to the smelter.
I'll unload his wagon while you're gone, Mr. Irons.
Leave it.
Thank you. Thank you kindly, Mr. Devlin.
Guard against thieves and trespassers. Over $500,000 worth of silver passes through here in a month.
Get over to the paymasters. We're leaving the guard over there.
Sure thing,
Mr. Howard. Hold it for me. Yeah.
Devlin.
Devlin. Well. I want to hire you before P.T. Barnum does. It's all mine. Every last brick, every last board.
Says there you got a partner.
Yeah, he's like you, dead. As soon as I'm through my period of mourning, why, we're gonna rub his name out. Come on, let's have a look. Morning, Samuel. You know how many tons of this we process a day? 2,300. Now, most of it's from my own property. But I also handle the output of the major independents, the Black Hat, the Groot Brothers. See, the next nearest smelter's over 100 miles away. So they got to bring the ore to me. Right now, I got 216 men on the payroll. Morning. Men like these, Welshmen, Cousin Jacks. Well, let me tell you, compared to the mine they were born to, this is like heaven.
It looks more like hell.
You ought to know. Come on. Heat bother you? Now me, I guess I ruin a couple of shirts a day. You know that Galt widow? She's a very handsome lady. Man would have to notice that, huh? Tell me, Devlin, what's she paying you?
All I want.
You don't understand, Devlin. I mean to hire you.
I don't like you.
Lots of people don't. I still do business with them.
I don't like your way of doing it.
Well, a man can't eat the walnuts unless he cracks a few shells. Now, your first chore is to convince the Galt woman smartest thing she can do is sell out. Because I'm sure you got a kinder way of doing than Billy Irons.
He's waiting for a water.
Water? She can have all the water she needs. All. But I mean to have the Chupadera.
Well, at least he didn't harm you.
Well, Mr. Halleck's playing some kind of a game. I think he's going to tire of it very soon now.
You think I should sell out? Chupadera means nothing to you. But to me, it's my husband's dream, my son's birthright, and all I have in the world.
Your brother. When does he get here?
Early next month.
Halleck only gave you 7 days.
I won't ask you to stay.
You may not want me to.
Good morning.
Howdy.
My father always let me watch. Those were his. There's one for every day. They'll be mine when I grow up.
Yeah?
You didn't use today's.
Yeah. Friday's had the best edge. Take a good look.
Does it still hurt?
Some.
Will it ever go away?
No?
How come God let my daddy die and you live?
So he was betting this little copper reverses the bet. So unfortunately, he put the copper on it.
Right.
And that meant that he lost his.
The copper reverses the bet.
Yes, it does.
There's some ins and outs of this game I've got to learn.
So I'm keeping count of all the cards that are played and what's not been played. Now there's no more 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, or 6s.
Yeah.
I think it's Kevin. Look, that's it.
Hey, you guys getting your preacher in jail too, or no?
We would love to, can we?
There you go. We have family race here. Yeah,
Come here.
Put the whole family in there. You can't. The whole spam family.
It wouldn't be the first time my family's been behind bars.
Yeah, so Kurt Russell said in an interview that 45 minutes in that film ended up on the cutting room floor, and that's what I want to see.
Oh, me too. You know, so funny said, because I was just talking with somebody, 2 days ago, and he said, you know, Jarre shot for a full 30 days before the candy, and they shot every day. They shot daylight till dark, and they didn't use any of that footage.
Yeah, that's 45 minutes on the cutting room floor.
Well, you know, the one that gets me is they had Hugh O'Brien, and Hugh O'Brien was actually in a whole sequence, and they said that there's a part where Hugh O'Brien hands Kurt Russell something. They don't remember what it was, but he hands him something and said there wasn't a dry eye there. It was like the old lighter and the new lighter or something. And not one bit of that got in the movie.
Tell us about being a bartender up here at Mescal. Well, we have a good time. Every time a tour comes in, people come over and we get coffee or sarsaparilla. We do a lot of sarsaparilla business. That's not like back home where we do a lot of bourbon business. Yeah, I wish I could do that. But how long have you been up here? I've been up here for 2 years. 2 years? And I think somebody mentioned that you actually started up here with them when they started doing the renovation. Right. And Mark Sankey and I they had a picture of the group that was first here. He and I are the only two of the original group that are still here. That's amazing. I was noticing a couple little things here that, like your spinning wheel over here and all these wonderful photographs. How bad a condition was all this in when you all started? Well, they had to, they had fixed the foundation underneath here. Bar would actually start all down, you know. So they boosted everything up. It looks so good and it's soft, doesn't it? Yeah. Inside it was pretty much the same. Now, what was this building built for? This building for the Quick and the Dead. Quick and the Dead. Oh, that's right. I know very well. Redemption Saloon. Yeah, that's right. Somebody mentioned that. It's like I remember. Yeah. So you have a good time dealing with the public for the most part? Oh yeah. Yeah. I enjoy it a lot. I used to be at it over 4 years before, they closed it before COVID. Right. Well, I was so glad everything opened back up. Yeah. You know, we're from way out east, and we thought we'd never get a chance to come out and see you all. Yeah. I'm glad you made it. You're from Kentucky. Yeah. In fact, we were talking a while ago, there used to be western towns all around. Well, there's 24 of it, right? Oh, really? And I think now that I don't even know if there's any anymore. I think Ghost Town and Maggie Valley closed down Prime, so I don't know who's in. Probably not. So see something like this kept alive. Yeah, we were lucky to have them church. Now, and the website is mescalmovieset.com, right? Right. Mescalmovieset.com. Well, thank you for bringing me to South Will and pitch. Just a kid, of course. Bad Bob, folks. And we're drinking some of the best sarsaparilla you're ever going to get right here at the Mescal Movie Set in Arizona. Thank you, Bob. Yeah, thank you.
Don't let the boy come in.
Not so good, eh?
No.
Tobin. Sean R. Tobin.
What's your name?
On my gravestone. Tell me. What's it like? Tell me. You've been there.
Yes.
I'm scared of dying.
Are you scared of living?
Hell no.
You made lots of friends. You worked hard. You've sailed the ocean. You've seen the elephant.
And then more than that, found the elephant. And after I seen him, I ate him. I sucked the marrow from out in his bones.
And go brave. You've got nothing to be afraid of.
Sean. Riley. Tobin. You won't forget.
No, I won't. So in the shroud.
If only I hadn't been so stubborn.
Don't. There's only one doorstep this belongs on.
You're not going after Alec.
Yes,
He has an army. Why you?
because I can. It's my trade.
You can't go back to that. Not after God's given you a second chance.
Maybe there's no such thing as a second chance.
You're alive.
What if I'm not? Maybe this is my hell. Or my purgatory. You're going to deliver a message.
You the one who gave the order.
I don't care what I gave. If you hadn't been in such a hurry, I could have stopped you. No. Devlin isn't bluffing, no matter what you think.
No, that ain't what I'm thinking.
What's the matter with you?
Devlin said to tell you he's coming. Son up.
Alone?
His eyes. The touch of them.
Shut up. Well, boys, let's spread the welcome mat.
You don't understand. He's coming to get you. He ain't hardly human.
What do you need? A sniff of smelling salts?
Mr. Irons, he said to ask...
What are you standing here for? Billy, I want your men up and armed, everyone within 10 minutes.
How many you figure it's going to take to punch Devlin's ticket?
One. Just one. And the one who gets him gets himself a $100 bounty. You tell him. Spread the word. Go on! Move!
Mr. Irons.
What?
Devlin said to ask you...
Say it.
If the pay is worth the price.
He ought to know. It never is.
Well, the sun's up. He ain't coming. A man would have to be crazy to go up against this many guns.
Maybe dying's like killing. The second time's easier.
Something out there, Mr. Halleck?
Remember, $100 to the man that gets him. Remember that.
In the movie, the villains, they wanted us partying in the bar. We actually were drinking beer. And after the end of the day, we were all pretty well, but, you know, it was fun.
He shot a TV commercial way back in the early 80s. It was a different time called the 80s. He was watching something one day and he's like, that was like 300 years ago. Wasn't that in the 80s?
Might as well be.
That might be, yeah. But the guy was one of the original laundry and suds places, so you could do your laundry and drink beer while your laundry's in the ring. He said, if you can get extras, tell them it's free beer. Well, we had 50 extras show up. And about 2 hours into that shoot, they were dancing on the top of the wood. I mean, they would throw them back as quick as they, never did that again. It made for a good commercial.
Well, we've just had the most amazing day here at the Mescal Movie set, so we thought we'd end up talking to a very special guest at the end of the day. As you can see, the sun's going down. Sir, tell us who you are.
I am Mark Sankey. I'm Director of Media and Marketing here at the set.
You've got a very important job. You're the one that brings this set out to the world, gets everybody aware of it, right?
That's what I'm supposed to do.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us about what all you do.
Well, you know, I know you've interviewed a lot of people here. The story of the set is we're rebuilding this. We saved it from demolition, and we're trying to bring filming back to Arizona, and in particular back to this set here. One of the best things that have recently happened is we have the film tax incentive brought into Arizona. So that has certainly made my job a lot easier.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're starting to get a lot more phone calls. So it's my job to try and get as many production days, filming days at the set that we can coming in. And we've had some success. We had 12 productions last year, and we've had 4 or 5 this year, and we have 8 or 9 pending films at this time.
Oh, that's just great. He was instrumental in getting us on this location, folks. If we hadn't been for Mark, we wouldn't be standing here talking to you now. So if you have a production you're thinking about doing, this would be the man to talk to. How do they get in touch with you?
But basically, I answer the set phone and the emails coming to the set. So if you go to our website of mescalmovieset.com, it's easy to contact us, and I will certainly give you a call right back.
Now tell me how you got involved in this.
Well, I retired. It was nothing involved with film. I was a book publisher. Retired, and I wanted a fun job, so I went to Old Tucson and just worked in their guest services. And when that closed down, my boss at Old Tucson was friends with the Karchner family that bought this. So I came aboard here with the aspirations of being a historian and such, and was here the very first volunteer day, and they needed somebody to write a news release, and I said, well, I was a publisher, I could do that. So I did the news release. And they needed somebody to design a flyer, and I said, well, I could do that, and design the flyer. Then they said, we need somebody to do a TV interview, and I sat on my hands. They pointed at me and said, you could do that.
Yeah, that's your job.
And then all of a sudden, I'm the marketing guy. But I've been doing that my whole life.
So you are the face of the town, basically.
Basically the face of the town. But as time goes on, we have a lot of great people here that carry themselves well, and we have multiple faces.
Well, you know, I was even talking that you get a lot of wonderful people come and volunteer to work and help rebuild the sets. And folks, when you get here, you're going to just be amazed at what you see. And they're all the time. Everything's changing constantly because that's the nature of movie sets. But I was talking to a few people in there, and in particular the bartender.
Yeah,
and Bad Bob. And Bad Bob said that there was a picture of the very first day they came up here to start to work on the sets. And he said, he looks at the picture now and he said, the only 2 people that are still here are him and you.
And we work together at Old Tucson.
Oh, that's just great. That's just great. So you've got to try to come out here, folks. Even if you have some time just to come and volunteer, or if you are planning on doing a production, talk to them, because this is an incredible location to have. And again, that website, what was that again?
mescalmovieset.com.
So what have you got planned for the near future? I noticed you said that you got some productions already booked in for this year.
Well, we do have a film coming in the end of April. We sign NDA agreements, and we're asked sometimes not to.
Oh, absolutely, I'm sure.
You know, what I have found with film productions is that Many times we'll pencil in a date, but they get pushed back for various reasons.
all
So
the
we've
time.
had a lot of pushbacks, but we anticipate maybe getting 3 feature films before it gets hot. And again, I can't really disclose which ones they are.
Well, you know,
And many times they don't tell me what the budget is or who the stars are or that type of thing. Because if it's big budget, they don't want me to automatically raise the daily set fee.
oh, sure. And they don't want word to get out that who's coming around.
Well, people do like to come on and kind of watch productions and such, and nowadays they don't like that.
Oh,
So
no, you got to
mum's the word.
You have to keep secure. And well, we were talking with Paul a while ago, and he said they were going to have a vendor sale up here too. So there are different kinds of events you're having here.
Well, we have all kind of events because we try to get as much revenue as we can.
Certainly.
And so we do the historical tours. We have special events like your group that came in today. We have Christmas shows. We had artillery shows, Civil War era artillery shows.
Oh, I bet that'd be amazing.
Well, watching them cannons go off was fun.
Especially in a backdrop like this.
So we try to have something every weekend that we can raise the funds, and 100% of the money goes to the set. There are no salaries. We're not paid. Karshner's are taking no money out of this. Everything buys 2x6s and plywood and paint and everything else we need.
Now, folks, that is so important to note that everything that if you give money toward this set or you buy something from this set, that it will go to this set. It won't go to pat somebody's pockets out who's sitting in a plush office somewhere. This is going to go to this set and keep this set alive. So go to the website, get up here, take a look around. What else are there things they can do on the website as far as donate or volunteer their time?
We do have a GoFundMe page.
GoFundMe page.
And it hasn't been highly successful because everybody thinks that everybody in the movie business is rich.
Right, right.
And the owners are rich, But we have 28 buildings, and it's quite a bit of money to get all 28 buildings back into shape. But we have people that do donate cash. We have people that might have antiques sitting up in their attic or garage that collecting dust. And we've had a lot of people donate antiques to us, and you never know, it may end up in a movie.
Well, you know what? I'll send you a box of props off our Draw Western Theater set. We've got some
great.
nice ones.
That'd be great.
I'd be proud to have them sitting over in the Mercantile over there.
Yeah.
So we'll send you a box of those.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to let you get out of here. I know it's the end of the day. As you can see, folks, we've got the town to ourselves. Everybody's left, and we're pretty much watching the sun go down here on the Mescal Movie set. And I want to really thank you for showing us around and your hospitality. Wait till she comes back out and sees us. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
Yeah, just a kudos to our volunteers.
Oh, they've done a wonderful job. They showed us around all day. Folks, the people from the TV West Fest, we came up here with them, and they had a tour today, and their reenactors and their volunteers and the people showing you around, it was so friendly and so much fun, and they were so knowledgeable about all the different movies that have been shot here. There's been a lot. And so if you get a chance to visit when they're open to the public, please do. They have a blast.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
We've had a great time.
Great to have you here. Thank you.
And let's go walk around one more time before we have to get out of here.
I'm in no hurry.
Thank you very much again.
Billy Irons. His name was Sean R. Tobin, and you're gonna meet him.
We want you to have these to remember us.
I've got other things, my dad. Wednesday needs sharpening.
You do.
I hope you find whatever you're looking for.
You've helped, Carrie.
Well,
But I liked him.
You seen anything hereabouts of a man called Devlin?
You a friend of his?
We've got unfinished business.
He headed south. But, mister, let me tell you, there's no use trying to get... They know you, mister! They tried to hang him, and they couldn't kill him. He blowed up the smelter, and he outdrawed Billy Irons.
But they, summertime in Arizona, it's hard to get your room capacity up, and so it was a home run for them. Have the whole place booked for the whole.
When they also talked about that's how much Kurt Russell would said that everybody would leave set and they'd go to the Holiday Inn and said the Dewsbury Powers booth would be out by the pool by 9 or 10 o'clock at night drinking. Said everybody just had a really good time. But Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell and a couple other people would go straight to their rooms and work all night till 4 o'clock in the morning and then come in and be on location at 7. There was a lot put into that thing.
While they're talking, we also.
Could you see that anger come from Thomas Hayden's church up?
Oh yeah, you
And
can
see his
that line.
eyes. Oh my God, and stuff. And it was perfect.
Oh, it was just beautifully done. It was the best.
Now the other thing, I don't know if they shared with you the cup. You've been carrying that cup today? That was Doc Holliday who was spinning the cup. That cup was lent to him by Joseph Porro, who was the wardrobe guy. And so I read that in that book, The Making of Tombstone. And so I called Joseph Porro once. I got his phone number and had this conversation with him on the phone. And I said, I read in the book that you own that cup. He said, oh, yeah. And I said, well, where is it? And he goes, oh, I still own it.
He still owns the
And so I asked him, I said, well, where do you have it displayed? And he laughed. And I was like, what are you laughing at? He says, it's in my bathroom. I have my toothbrush in it. Oh, no. Oh, dude, I could sell that tomorrow for $10,000.
Or more.
I said, oh, no. I'm going to hang on to it.
That's the most iconic cup in movie history. Oh, I think you'd have no problem. I guarantee you'd have no problem getting $50,000 out of that.
Unbelievable. I mean, you think there's the Maltese Falcon. There's all these, got his the red shoes from Wizard of Oz. And to me, there's the cup from Tombstone.
Everybody knows that cup. And, and the story, of course, in the book, I just talking about everywhere Val Kilmer went on the set, he had the cup practicing just for that one day.
And he spoke with the accent.
Everywhere he went.
Yeah, spoke with the accent.
I just think I don't think anybody will ever portray Doc Holliday again without being compared to what. Yeah. And my favorite part of that story was how much that Kevin Costner attempted to totally shut them down at every turn.
Absolutely.
And they just kept going. Had Kurt Russell not stepped in, I think the movie would have just folded.
Yeah.
And, because Kevin Costner, I didn't realize how fierce he was, because they said that was the 4th time he had done that to somebody.
Yeah.
He sees a script he likes and then says, oh, well, we've worked on this for 6 months.
Well, the guy that saved a lot of that was Peter Sharenko.
Yes.
Texas Jack.
His name
brought in the buckaroos and brought in the saddles and brought in the guns.
One of your guys, Lynn
Steele.
Lynn Steele was telling me that there's actually a coffee table book that has all the outfits and stuff.
Got it.
And it's written by him. Yeah. Oh, I've got to get that book. I really got to get that. Yeah, his name is just so prevalent in the book. Talking about, and it would have had a whole different look had he not brought the buckaroos in.
Yeah.
Is this where the Earp got killed?
No, this was the Crystal Palace. This is where Texas Jack and Turkey Shoot Johnson came out on the gunfight. When the Earps were across the street, they just landed in Tombstone, and the sheriff bean came out and offered them the 2 cottages with the free cleaning. They ran into Doc Holliday. They were talking about Tombstone was going to be as big as San Francisco. They're going to get a racetrack, all cosmopolitan, and all of a sudden Turkey Creek and Texas Jack come out and boom, 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 boom. And that line, that line, the other line, quite cosmopolitan.
Quite cosmopolitan.
But yeah, that was Buck Taylor and Peter Sharenko.
Well, I remember right before that's when Billy Bob Thornton was coming up with the shotgun. They were just all chatting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot you were there.
I forgot.
There's so many great lines. That's probably the most quoted Western of all time.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be. And it's just also, we were talking about just the balance of between trying to stay historically accurate and keeping action going and a good story. It's just almost impossible to do, and they hit it just right. I think she had mentioned, lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it was. I don't think you'd ever recreate that. And of course, Powers Booth. You had Powers Booth, and there was just every single character was just so well defined and memorable.
Yeah, they're all phenomenal actors, and the director, and you've probably read that Kurt Russell had a lot to do with the directing, but George Cosmatos. He was in Rambo 3. He was an action director, and he did bring in that element. If you look at that movie, there is a lot of spaghetti western type of filming. There's a lot of close-ups, especially the shootout of the OK Corral, showing that emotion and such. And those actors, they pulled it off. I mean, they have the right look. They could act.
And they acted, the closer the camera gets, the smaller you act.
Yeah.
The Doc Holliday scene in the end with Ringo, it goes from the wide shot to the medium to the eyes, and that's a Sergio Leone.
Michael Baien's when he decided, okay, longer. I mean, that's a phenomenal scene. I remember watching that and saying, that's just great acting right there.
Oh, it is. You believe every bit of it. You don't ever see anything forced.
Yeah.
And that just comes with having good actors. They really knew their parts well.
So was the Doc Holliday hospital scene where he died actually filmed here? Because
You want to go to it?
yeah, sure.
You want to go stand on the spot where he died? It's not part of the sewer, but it's all gone. And that's the key.
Cool.
Oh, this would be amazing. And they also said that, like Val and Michael Biehn, they never socialized together during the shoot.
Right.
Because they wanted that animosity on screen to show. So they didn't get together and have coffee in the morning or a beer at night. They kind of kept themselves distances and actually antagonized you because they wanted that.
Well, and they actually worked out the scene in the end when they shoot the shootout.
Yeah,
they worked out the motion on that because they said the way it was written in the script, it was going to be a straight Sergio Leone, and they said, no, wouldn't it be better if we kind of walked around each other? That's just brilliant. I mean, the way that's choreographed, it just gives you that tension there.
And I think the director was smart enough to allow that type of talent to have input into what they were filming.
Oh, I think so too.
This is my town, Denver. Only my job has me riding out all too often. My name's Slade. I'm a detective, a troubleshooter for hire. And this time it started right here. When an uninvited guest slipped into the hotel room of a friend of mine, the little present he rigged up for my friend was to fire off all kinds of trouble.
And if you solve this case, Mr. Barabee, you'll be the most important detective in the country. I'll see you at dinner. I'd like to tell my associates what you've learned. You know, when $1 million vanishes, you can lose more than sleep. You can lose a railroad. The Denver and Texas Railroad has had its share of holdups, but never anything like this, Mr. Slade. That's why we sent for you.
All right, sir. Let's have it.
But about 4 months ago, the Mexican government sent $1 million in bullion to the Denver Mint, where it was converted into pesos. Well, sir, our railroad was entrusted with the job of delivering that money to the Mexican authorities at El Paso. We made up a special car, put 4 special guards on it. When the train pulled in at El Paso, the 4 special guards were missing. The $1 million was also missing, and so was the special car.
That's ridiculous. You can't misplace a railroad car.
It's gone, vanished without a trace. We've searched every inch of the route.
Doesn't sound like any gang I ever heard of.
Well, the Mexican government thinks it may have been the work of revolutionaries, the followers of Manuel Garcia. $1 million will buy a lot of arms. The only trouble with that theory is not a single coin has been passed either side of the border.
And how do you know?
Well, they're easy to trace. Every coin bears the mark of the Denver Mint, a small D. Federal investigators have drawn a blank. Pinkerton's done no better. If the Denver and Texas has to reimburse the Mexican government, it'll put us out of business.
Not a single lead, huh?
Nothing. Less than a week after Pinkerton went on the case, their investigator, Bev Barabee, was murdered.
So Bev's luck ran out, eh?
Did you know him?
Yeah, he was an old friend of mine.
$1 million. They'll stop at nothing.
Where'd you get this?
Well, last night, a man got involved in a brawl at the Occidental. They locked him up. When they searched him, they found that. He's our first and only lead, and he won't talk. Well, how about it? Will you take the case?
$1 million, eh? Sounds just tough enough to be interesting. Yes, sir, I'll take it.
Good. Well, where do you start?
Well, first I think I'll pay a visit to that jailhouse, Mr. Franklin. Good day.
Good day.
A case like this is a challenge. It can end only two ways. You solve it and you're a hero. We end up with a bullet in your back.
Mr. Slade?
Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Longo. My name is Slade. I'm a private detective.
Detective? Just what I need, a detective.
So where'd you get this Mexican coin, huh?
Mexican coin? Never had one.
Oh, it was found in your pocket.
Maybe somebody put it there.
Oh, I don't think so.
Maybe I got it and changed at the bar.
They don't use Mexican money here in Denver.
Hey, you calling me a liar?
That's right.
You're real pushy here.
Well, now, Joe, you just do a little talking and we can continue outside, all right?
I don't know nothing. There's nothing to tell you.
If you want to rot in jail, that coin was stolen and we can prove it. You can't prove where you got it. See, and it'll take about a year before your case comes up. Court calendar's kind of crowded right now. But don't worry, Joe. If any of your friends try to bail you out, we'll toss them in here to keep you company. Okay, buddy, it's your funeral. Taylor? Yeah. Keeping Joe Longo in jail didn't solve anything. He looked like the sort who'd never talk. But I was further ahead than the other investigators. I knew Joe Longo was mixed up in it, and I knew he came from Santa Clara, a small town not too far from El Paso. Down for the night?
4 bits.
All right, if you feed.
I feed.
Feed.
Where you from, stranger?
Around.
We got a tough marshal here. If you're on the dodge, stay clear of him.
Gene!
He's the laziest boy. He takes after me.
You hear me, Gene?
Coming, Pa.
In advance, stranger. All right, Gene.
Hold it.
Hey, them barrels don't match.
That's right.
Well, I get it. Rifle one barrel, shotgun the other, huh?
Got good eyes.
Yeah. I'm a good judge of people, too. Spend your life hanging around a livery stable, you get to know folks better than a doctor. Get so you can pigeonhole them. I can't figure you, friend.
That makes us even.
Shotgun Slade. It's been a long time.
Abilene, I think, wasn't it, Dave?
I believe it was. Have a seat.
Better pull these shades down.
know this is not a social call.
What's up? We got a man in Denver jail by the name of Joe Longo. Ever hear of him?
Yeah, him and his sister Francie, they own the Longhorn Saloon. What's he in for?
The $1 million Denver and Texas train robbery. We found one of the gold Mexican coins on him. Something I should know?
You know, I've been here for going on 5 years. I always figured Joe and Francie's mixed up in plenty, but I've never been able to pin it on them, and I'd sure like to. $1 million. That's kind of pushing it, ain't it?
Sure is, Dave. Thanks, Marshal.
Oh, Slade. Watch yourself with her. Francie plays real rough.
As long as she plays. Ma'am?
You're on the wrong side of the bar, mister.
Hey, I understand the best-looking gal in Santa Clara is Francie Longo. That couldn't be you by any chance now, could it?
Now, what do you think?
I'm thinking if you're not, I've been misinformed.
Something I can do for you?
What do you do best?
You work fast, mister.
Reckon we talk alone.
Aren't you crowding your luck, handsome?
We'll see about that later. Business first.
Oh? What business?
Joe. Just left him in Denver.
Over there. What's Joe doing?
Oh, not much of anything last time I saw him.
It sounds like Joe, all right. Now, what did you want to talk about?
Well, he sure wasn't kidding when he said you have everything.
You're a pretty fancy talker, mister. I didn't catch your name.
Barlow. Michael Timothy Barlow. And people who really like me call me Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Well, you starting to make a fellow feel welcome.
About that business.
Well, Joe said he could put me in line to make some big money. Fast.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This.
Where'd you get that?
Joe.
Oh?
That's the real thing, all right.
So it's the real thing.
Take a good look. Denver mint mark, only foreign coin ever made in this country. Same mark as on a silver dollar.
That's very interesting.
We can peddle them abroad. I got connections.
I'm not in the money business.
I don't blame you for being cagey, Frenchie. I would be, too. I can handle a lot of this if the discount's right. You think about it. Oh, think about me, too. I'll be around.
Well, what's he up to?
Him and Joe got together in Denver. Said I could put him next to a good thing.
That don't sound like Joe. He'd have written first.
Maybe he thought the 20 pesos was enough.
It's funny, ain't it? Here we got $1 million and nothing to do with it.
Maybe we shouldn't have double-crossed Garcia. Maybe that was our mistake.
Maybe. But even that's out now. I got the word he's dead. Francie, we've got to find a market.
He says he's got connections abroad. That he'll make a deal if the discount's right.
What's he call himself?
Mike Barlow.
Gee! I think me and your friend Mike Barlow are gonna have a real friendly visit. Mutually advantageous.
Shake your stumps, boy! This is business!
Get over to the hotel. Mr. Barlow's room. Fetch him here.
Hold it! Oh. Didn't your pa tell you to always knock before entering?
He wants to see you. He don't like cannons either. So you better leave it here.
Get moving. Sleep tight, Junior. Boy got a little fresh. He'll be along when he wakes up.
I don't like violence, Mr. Barlow. I'm a plain man and I talk plainly.
Good, I like plain talk about money.
We'll get along, sir. Sit down.
Thank you.
I understand that you're a friend of Joe Longo's.
That's right. Gave me this. Said Francie would understand.
You say how much was involved?
I read the papers.
I mean at your end.
We can do business if it's all on the level. As good as this.
I wouldn't try to pass off phony money, not on you, Mr. Barlow.
Sure, but still I'd have to see it. Things can happen, you know. You might have just enough of this to get us rolling and then try to pass off some phony. My people wouldn't like that.
Of course.
Now, Garcia's dead and you have no place to move this stuff, right?
You know your way around, friend.
Look, let's put our cards on the table. You need me as much as I need you. I'll take $250,000 worth of the stuff as a starter.
How much you pay?
25 cents on the dollar.
You're greedy, Mr. Barlow.
Stuff's got to be moved from wherever you've hidden it. That costs money. And it's got to be shipped abroad. More money. It'll have to be sold at a discount, too. Not too much profit when you add it up.
35 cents.
I don't dicker.
Nice work, son. Search him. We'll find out who he really is.
He's clean, Pa.
An honest man, carry papers on it.
Yeah, he's as crooked as a corkscrew.
That's a bad habit you've got, son.
Well, that makes us even.
Treat all your customers like this?
When I have to.
In that case, I'll take my business elsewhere.
Not so fast, friend. My old ma always used to say that a crust of bread is better than none when you're hungry. You show me you got what it takes and it's a deal. We'll both give a little. Get $10,000 in earnest money and I'll show you a railroad car full of gold pesos.
Fair in business, partner. Next time, Sonny.
You get him real mad at you, Jeannie's gonna kill you. I don't think you'd like that.
How's business, beautiful?
Mike, where have you been the last few days?
El Paso. Dad wanted to see some money, so I had to telegraph my contact.
Well, the least you could have done was to let me know. I was worried
Oh? About me or the money?
about you, darling.
And what makes you so hard to get along with, huh? Anything doing while I was gone?
Ab. I've never seen him so nervous. Do you know that he thought you'd walked out on us?
And your fat friend's not much of a poker player, is he?
Then he decided that maybe you and I had gotten together to double-cross him.
Oh, you'd never do a thing like that, would you, Francie?
He's greedy. I don't like greedy people.
Of course you don't. Well, there's really not too much in it for us when you come to think of it.
Oh, I don't know.
Ab will grab the biggest share at this end. I'm just an agent. Small pickings, I'd say. You got larceny in your eyes, Francie. I can tell. Like your fat friend, I'm a student of human nature. What do you say we go partners?
You kidding. Ab would kill us.
That's my department.
You don't know him.
The woods are full of guys like him. Who's guarding the car?
Nobody.
The railroad guards, weren't they in the deal?
From the beginning.
And?
They're dead.
Oh. Well, how far is it?
It's not far.
Can you get a horse without Ab knowing?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Meet you out back in 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Where's Francie? Stepped out. Where? She didn't say. You seen Francie?
Well, Joe, long time no see. You walk right up to me and all you say is, you seen Francie?
You seen her?
Not tonight, I ain't. Is there something wrong?
I broke Denver jail.
You broke jail? Your friend Mike Barlow didn't say nothing about you being in trouble.
Barlow? I don't know anyone named Mike Barlow.
The fella you give the gold piece to?
Now, take it easy, Ab. I got into a brawl at the Occidental and they threw me in the cooler. They,
Keep talking.
They found the gold piece. Private detective, Shotgun Slate, had it last I knew.
Tall, good-looking fella about your age.
You know him?
Gee! Saddle 3 horses!
Tired?
We're there.
Where? I don't see anything.
Down the grade. It's an abandoned mine shaft against the hill. Hasn't been used for 20 years. Tracks used to lead from here to the shaft. After the car was uncoupled from the moving train, we braked it downhill into the mine. Then we ripped up the tracks and covered the entrance with rocks and brush.
Huh. Wow. It's quite a deal. Stand back. Come on.
It's all here. Only this box was opened. $1 million.
We know you're in there, Slade. Throw out your gun.
It's Ab. He followed us.
You hear me, Slade?
Stay back.
Come on.
I'm going to get you, Joker.
Keep back now. Here he comes. What are you doing?
Why, you dirty two-timers.
Abby made me do it. Please, he forced me.
It's too bad you couldn't have stayed on one side, Francie. Just for a while.
I wasn't changing sides, honey, honest.
Save your breath, Francie. Come on. You all right, Slade? Yeah, I'm okay, Dave. Thanks to you. Got another customer for you inside. An ex-millionaire. Let's go, Francie. And that almost winds it up, Mr. Franklin. Almost? Yes, it's just one more thing. You see, no one knew when that train was arriving in El Paso except you and the engineer. Well, of course I knew. And you picked the special guards to watch the treasure, didn't you? Of course. A lot of good men died to satisfy your greed, Mr. Franklin. And the funny part is, no one made a dime out of it. You don't know what you're talking about. That's where you're wrong. You see, Ab Corbett talked. And so did the girl. All right, officer. Gold affects people in a strange way. Sometimes ordinarily honest, upright people will lie, cheat, and murder when they see gold. Especially if there's a lot of it. $1 million worth.
You're watching Draw Western Theater here on WBON TV, Channel 9. Let's go, boys.